Hi guys, I'm Tanya and welcome back to my channel, The Donkey Business. I just finished watching the movie Heaven starring Suraj sir, and I have a lot of things to say about this film. Firstly, I was very excited for the movie because I'd seen the trailer and it is a thriller drama film coming from the Malayalam industry, and we all know that the Malayalam industry literally excels in such films because they are so good in creating an atmosphere where you literally are in the movie till the very end. Now, when I started watching this movie, honestly, the first 5 minutes got me into the film. Because in the first 5 minutes only, there is so much happening that there is no wastage of time. There is literally no like backstory, there is no love story involved, there is no like starting introduction of characters, which the Malayalam films generally do. It was literally on point, and in the first 5 minutes, I was hooked and I was like, oh my god, we are in a ride. That is what I thought about the start of the film. There are a few points that I want to talk about what I personally thought while watching the film, but telling y'all what the movie is about. It's about this cop played by Suraj sir, whose son is involved in a murder case, and he is trying to emotionally but also professionally solve that case, though he's not allowed to because he has like a personal connection with the case, and you generally become very emotional with the kind of case you are in if it is personal, but he still is kind of allowed to do it and he solves the case. Now, this is the main plot line of the story, if I have to say it in one line, and the movie revolves around that. The first half an hour to 1 hour of the movie is very gripping and I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of points that I liked and there are a lot of points that I honestly did not like. Firstly, coming to acting. Everybody in the film has done a phenomenal job. I am honestly kind of tired of seeing Suraj sir as a cop. I really want to see him in many other avatars as well. I have seen other movies of him where he has played other characters, but now I think I just want to see him in something else too, you know, like in the recent past movies that y'all have suggested me or I have seen. He is like 80% a cop and he is phenomenal as an actor. I'm a fan of him in like Malayalam industry. He's really good, one of the actors out there and a star performer. But I mean, I really want to see more of him in other characters, but in this film, he's performed very well. Apart from that, I think all the actors have done an incredible job. All the actors have done justice. There is no actor who I thought was a misfit or, you know, like did not live up to the expectations. They were all equally good. So getting acting out of the picture right now, coming to the writing, I am a little disappointed with the writers. The writers of the film have written thriller movies before, so you have a kind of expectation from them. But in this film, I just felt that it just like had a really interesting plot. In the start, they show like these young cops, you know, who are like training and are very new in the business, and you know, like they are in a jungle and something happens over there. I thought it would be related to that, but that was just a build up for something else which was totally irrelevant, which is fine, okay, given. Moving on, I think that the story had a very interesting plot. It was going well till a certain point. After that, I just felt that the writing became very loose. It lost its plot. Some points just did not make sense to me. I was confused. I was not as excited as I was when I started watching the movie. In the middle, I was like, okay, fine, what is happening? Why are you showing this? How is this even related? Why are we stuck at this? Let's move on. Now what's gonna happen? These were the questions that were going on in my mind, and I was a bit off. I won't say it's a bad film or like a very amateur film. It is a good movie, but its writing is very loose in the middle, and you know, like when they go in the flashback and the whole diamond thing and like new characters come in, that just did not make sense to me. I think the movie could have gone in a very different direction and they could have added a lot of things, in fact, that would be like really shocking. But in the first 5 minutes of the film, they show that Suraj sir is caught for the crime. So because I knew that something like this is going to happen in the end, I was hooked and I was like, okay, I want to see how they reach that plot. But the way they reached that plot was really disappointing and I did not like it. I think I prefer the first half of the film over the second half of the film any day. The second half of the film kind of disappointed me, and I was not a fan of it at all. Coming to the direction, the film has a very slow pace, and I have seen that in most Malayalam films when it comes to the thriller genre, they do that. I am not saying that the film is slow. I started this vlog by saying that the film had a really good pace, and in the first 5 minutes I was hooked, and there was no character build and stuff like that. There was no wastage of time. It's a 2-hour movie, but still the movie had a very slow atmosphere. Okay, and I have seen a lot of that in movies. I didn't have a problem with it, but it was not something new that I saw. The BGM was nice, but sometimes it was just too loud and it did not work for me that much. I'm a huge fan of BGM from Malayalam cinema. I've been very vocal about it on my channel. You can literally see every trailer reaction or every movie review that I do. I'm always raving about the BGM. But the BGM in this was good, but it was too loud sometimes. It was not needed sometimes. It was overused sometimes, and I had a bit issue with that. But it was okay. The slow atmosphere that the director created in the movie did work, but at some points I was just like, okay, you know what, we know what is happening. Because in the second half of the movie I was kind of disappointed with the writing, so the slow atmosphere just added to my impatient build up, where I was like, okay, can we please move on? I don't want to watch like that anymore. So that's what I felt about the slow pace atmosphere of the film. The thing that I really liked in the movie was the cinematography and the color palette, the grading. I think the technical team in that zone has done a very good job, especially the first 10 minutes when they were in the jungle and all of that. Those shots were amazing. The angles that the DOP used and the kind of colors, the grading, and the entire color palette has a very green and bluish vibe, which I really liked. I think it just maintained a very cool tone for a film like that. It just created a very nice atmosphere. I think for me in this film, my favorite part was definitely the cinematography, the color palette, the grading. I think the entire camera department has done a very good job. Coming to the editing of the film, I think the editing of the film was pretty crisp. There was no waste of time. Even the songs in the movie had a story that they were saying. It is literally like a 2-hour film, and in Malayalam industry we generally see movies like 2.5 hours, 2 hours 40 minutes, 3 hours, so I'm very used to long films. So this is literally like 2 hours 13 minutes or something like that. It's less than 2.5 hours for sure. So it's like crisp editing, but because the atmosphere of the film is slow in general and there are a lot of slow-mos and all, the editing seems slow, but I did not have a problem with the editing at all. I really enjoyed the editing. On the whole, I just feel that the film is good, but because I have a lot of expectations from firstly a movie in which Suraj sir is there, his choice of films is really good. Secondly, it's like a thriller, drama, crime film from the Malayalam industry. I know it has to be perfect because you cannot go wrong on a movie like that. Like a love story coming from French cinema is just literally the best, right? So like that only, I think, like with Malayalam industry, because they are so talented and have all the resources possible, I just feel that this kind of disappointed me. I had huge expectations from this film. So what I want to tell you guys is that if you're going to watch this movie, go without any expectations, and don't go with expectations that it's going to be amazing. It's a nice film, but it's not a very nice film. It's okay. It's like a one-time watch-ish. When I was watching the movie, I was making my own plots in my mind, and I was like, oh, this could happen, that could happen. Maybe, this person could be involved, maybe that must have happened. There were a lot of build-ups in the movie which did not make sense later, and I was just like, why did you even do that? I mean, like, if you're playing with our mind and trying to like create more suspense, it should at least make sense, right? So there are a few things that I had an issue with, but I feel that the writers did not live up to my expectations. If the writing of the film was great and the movie had a slow atmosphere, I think I would not have an issue with it. But because the writing also didn't make a lot of sense to me, and then the movie had a slow atmosphere, I think I was like disappointed a bit too much. But this is what I feel about the film. I know a lot of y'all will not agree with what I'm saying and will think that I just did not like the movie in general. But you are obviously always free to come and talk to me in my comment section, and we should discuss the movie in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it, and if you have similar view like I do about the movie. And thank you so much for coming. I will be talking about a lot of content. I have shot a lot. I'm just sitting on editing right now, and I will see you a lot this week, very, very soon. And thank you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you very soon.